Patty, can you speak up? We can't hear you. Do we need to hear you? I don't know.
I don't say anything that matters anyway.
Should we move our chairs up there in the center?
You wrote them.
I did.
And she wants you to sign them.
Does she have minutes?
Let's table
The
it
minutes.
next month.
And does she have last week's also?
No, there's not
So
any
nice.
minutes. Yeah, no table. There's nothing in here.
Yes. We're not approving the minutes, we're putting that on hold. So we don't have them.
Sorry, I forgot you wanted me to speak up. Okay, the water project.
Yeah. Sorry. Just jump right in. I'm sorry. The water project, I think, is making progress. We've been waiting and waiting for the Davies 2 lawyer to develop a water use agreement for people to read and consider and sign, so we'll have an actual number of who wants hooked up and all that. And at the meeting last week on Monday, their monthly meeting, the USDA funder representative was there, and so she agreed that we could craft something, and only they had to approve it. It really wasn't a legal thing as far as Davies 2, because whatever the lawyer would have put together would have had to be approved anyway by the people loaning it. So I think we're going to move forward on that. It's my understanding that the engineer for Davies 2 came, or Wally brought maps to you, is that right, of where he's got the current hookups or current meters right now, and we're supposed to look at that and winnow those out, which ones are not active and all that. So things are at least moving in a way that I feel like we have some more control over. If it slows down, it's just because we're slowing it down.
Do they know that the number that signs up depends on the agreement? Does it go the other way?
Sure, that's why it's
Yeah.
important to have the agreement signed before we tell them where the meters are going to be, the ones we're asking for.
Oh, so did you, I missed that, did you say you got a copy of the agreement?
No, we got a draft that we're going to be able to work from, so,
Oh, you guys drafted?
no.
They got a
Okay.
copy. Once
They got a copy.
That we're going to tweak to make our own, so it
Oh, I
isn't
see.
official
Okay,
yet.
sorry.
So, yeah.
My question is, at what point are we going to be informed? I mean, I'm kind of concerned about this water, and I know they talked about an adjustment at the meter, but we've all got old pipes. At what point are we going to be able to talk about the effect of this water system on our homes?
I believe there's supposed to be a regulator for
Is that what you mean? The
I know
force
there's
of
a
the water?
regulator,
Okay.
but boy, I'm really nervous when they first implement this, especially for homes that have old pipes. And I've heard several people bring that up and say, yeah, you better be aware of what's going on there. So I don't know if the outside, the regulator, if that's not enough information, I guess is what I'm saying.
If you hear a gurgle on the ground, turn it down a little.
But that may be too late.
It's not the
Well,
money.
the regulator go in the pit,
In the
and you can
fall.
turn it down as much as you want. If you only want 20 pounds, you can turn it down to 20 pounds.
The property owner, the customer will have control of what that's
Yes, I
set at.
understand that, but again, I say, is there some way we can be educated in that area?
Oh, on how to do it. How to-
Uh-huh,
what-
yeah.
How much
Rather
more
than
pressure do
hire
they
a
get
plumber
from the
that'll
pipes?
come and,
How much they got now? Some people have got 30, 40, some people have got 50, 60.
So that's what you're running through it now.
It's going down.
Is
Up
that-
and downhill, it's going to change.
is that
too.
because of the regulator or because of the slant or
Because
whatever?
we're
Gravity?
downhill.
Okay. But it will be the same everywhere depending on how the individual regulates it. Do I
Yeah,
understand that
yeah.
correctly?
There'll be 100 and some pounds in the water system itself, but you put the regulator on there, it'll be lower.
Whatever the customer says.
Whenever the customer wants to.
Simple process.
Be able to put out a real fire now.
So,
100
there'll be no
pounds.
fire item.
Well, there's-
There'll be no fire
But they can
item.
fill trucks faster than they are
Yeah.
now. They're not doing it at night. Okay. So that's my water report.
And
So the citizens will be notified before it's turned on.
Absolutely,
When
yeah.
everybody will
Yeah.
know when it's
Yeah.
happening, so they can set the regulators
Oh, it's
before.
gonna be
the
a
water
mess
comes
while
in.
they're doing it.
Well,
Right.
they'll be digging up the alley there where you live at, and they'll have to come in there beside your other pit and put another meter up.
So
Well,
you'll know.
and
I
you're,
have a note here that says we have received notification that the grant funds are authorized for use, and I know that
So there'll be a one-on-one conversation, or if you want to do it in a group or whatever, about the water use agreement and what it says and what it means and all that. And then Jim is the Jameson person who's going to be with or around the project as it takes place. And so he'll know what, if they're going to shut the water off or whatever, and then we'll activate our calling tree and get people notified. And I can't speak for how it's going to work, but I know that we're all interested, they do these projects all over the place. I mean, we don't know our contractors yet, that they aren't just gonna turn it on one day and everybody's pipes are gonna go wild. I mean, that doesn't serve anybody's purpose. So, again, that may sound like assurances without written stuff, but we don't like written stuff, so I just can't tell you until it shakes out. And if you're out of town, then I think I've called you before, I've got your number to let people know what's going on. We had a meeting to try and get people informed, so I think we've been inclusive on that, but that's only from my perspective, so it may not feel that way to others. Anything else?
Oh, time frame?
The funds are there, so what else has to be done?
We have to get these water use agreements signed, we have to get the engineering thing lined out, they have to get that approved through the state and the feds for water quality and all that. It has to be let out to bid. Bids have to come in and be audited, and so, we're not talking about.
I thought the feds were in charge of armies, navies, and not in charge of our health or anything else.
Well,
Well,
you're mistaken.
well, it's like my trailer. I want you to find, if you say I can't have the trailer, and I want you to tell me what I'm missing in my trailer that they have in other countries.
I don't know if I'm
Not one thing.
okay. Financial reports, okay, we have the financial report. Denise tells me that the restricted funds have not changed. She didn't have it pointed out, but it's the same as it was last time. So number
We must have 2 copies of the, get 2 copies of the general checking. They're right here in my pocket. But I've got David too.
I have a grandson, lawyer.
anything on there that anybody has any questions about? It's pretty simple.
That's the general checking.
And Denise would like for everyone to initial this, and I have to give it back.
So what, did Jason have to fix something on the mower? Is that what? Jason Chadwick? Or the check right to him for the
Oh,
mower?
yeah,
Then he put it down?
you have to take the blades off the micro compression and take them off.
Oh,
Off to the track, and he's sharp. Got a lot more air.
Beth, any extra agenda copies? No?
I didn't check Nixon.
I've got a thing here that says extra. Possibly.
Anything else? Oh, we got it.
so we still have property taxes.
You want to watch one day?
Yes.
They have property.
You can get that one, doesn't it?
2010.
Did you say that?
Jan's gonna do that. I'm sorry, did you ask me that question? I need to take notes on something else.
No, it's just.
So are we ready for the 6 month one? Is that what we're looking at now?
Yes,
So, okay, I was supposed to have a motion to do the financials.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thanks.
Okay, Okay, then we have our yearly.
This is budget.
Did the budget have those?
Budget report January 1 through June 30th.
So, yeah.
Are they gonna get this through?
So we have these in the assessment. Do we need to discuss this, or?
I need just a little bit of progress. Okay. So we started out with $4,500, we've taken in $8,800-ish, we've spent $10,000-ish, and we've got $3,000-ish left. And all those things, so,
Looks like we've still got,
We got some outstanding things there too, yeah, on the bottom, on the side page. Those are the outstanding changes.
Right.
Probably it's probably the deposit on the origin.
Federal
Right.
budget.
That was in my presentation.
well, my guess is say
So maybe we just, maybe.
Oh, that is true.
You have not had one yet?
If they, do they not have to cash it?
You don't cash it, it's just,
Cash it.
it's just.
Okay,
put the little
gotcha.
paper that you
Okay.
fill.
And then, I got that other one for you. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Are we doing the whole budget report or just the budget report of the street fund? I mean,
Oh, the general.
Yeah. I just need to know when it's gonna, yeah.
We usually approve each one individually,
I think so.
because that is the signing.
Yeah, so I'm calling this one a 6-month financials, general budget, right, general account.
So it's the semi-annual report.
It is on this agenda. It is. Yes, I should call it semi-annual, so 6 months, so, yeah.
This is, well, no, this is,
That's the one you just put on there.
this is the, yeah, that's the street funds.
So general fund is
Right, I'll make a motion to approve the general fund semi-annual, or, no,
semi,
the year in review. Semi-annual, okay. Semi-annual.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, thank you. You what?
Need a roll call on that. Let's go ahead and do a roll call.
All right.
I can't remember which one I know. Okay.
Elise.
All right. Everybody have one?
Yeah.
All right, now is your expenses. Started out with 176, at 24,1936 income.
Yes.
203,0966. This with a balance of $6,068.40.
For streets,
The restricted fund, yeah.
I move approval.
Go ahead.
Move approval.
My second.
All those, Natalie?
Yes.
Aletha?
Yes.
Patty? Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Water fund. Okay.
That's not this. Water fund, yeah.
question about this one.
I didn't do that.
Okay.
I mean, what is it?
It's the water, it says we had an opening balance of I'm dropping some of the numbers, $7,500. And then we've taken in $14,700. And we've had $13,900 expenses, so we've got a closing balance of $8,410, which is a little more than we started with, but we're halfway through the year. So what that says to me, as long as we keep breaking even, we're going to end up about where we are at the end of the year. And there's no reason we shouldn't break even because our water rates are the same.
Right.
Okay.
Barring there's no breaks.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Good with this?
Water fund, semi-annual report here. I'll second it. Patty? Yay. Natalie? Yay. Alita?
Yay.
Yeah.
Motion passed. On to the supervisor.
Okay, now we've got water CD on the back of that. It has signature lines on it. So I'm wondering what we're supposed to do. Okay.
What is the water CD?
What is it? It's a CD we got in the bank for approximately $10,000.
Instead of keeping interest in a checking account, we've got to draw some interest.
What does CD stand
Oh,
for?
a certificate of deposit.
Okay.
Sorry.
For emergency.
Yeah, in case we get a big oops.
Okay.
That's all we got.
Are the deposits in that? Are the deposits listed separately, or is there?
Yeah, there's a different account, the water sewer meter deposit.
Right, it says
Yeah.
deposit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We used to keep it all, we used to keep all the deposits in the checking account, then we would, then we set up, or in the general water account,
Yeah,
and we had to set up,
yeah,
yeah.
And it's not those good
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Combination, so we ought to put it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move approval.
I'll second.
Patty?
Yay.
Alita?
Yay.
Natalie?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passed. Husband's coming back. He lives in the Any questions on that? On the back is the sewer management service also. Any questions?
I think so. I'll make a motion, yeah, to approve the sewer semi-annual report.
Patty?
Yay.
Natalie?
Yay.
Alita? Yes. I'm with the approval.
I'll second.
That's, Patty?
Yay.
Natalie? Alita?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
small town agreement.
Jim and Jan.
I don't really have anything except the DNR report, and I'll talk about it.
You have to speak up, because the air conditioning's getting.
Right. So, we had something this past week, or I guess it's last week, called a DNR inspection. What that means is Department of Revenue came in.
Natural resources.
I mean, Department of Natural Resources. They probably wanted to be here, but they weren't. Department of Natural Resources came in. It's something that is not an uncommon thing. They go everywhere and do this inspection. Basically what it is they inspect the books, make sure that we've kept track of everything that we've done, make sure that we've kept track of any type of samples that we've had to take every month. It's a lot of red tape paperwork, but it's things that we have to do that ensures you all have safe water, basically is what they're here about. So we had a gentleman come this last week. He has a little protocol that he goes by, checks everything off as he goes. It appears we haven't got the information back from him as far as when he went home and wrote down how he thought we were, what our status was, how he thought we did. But I did speak to him today. But at any rate, we have not received back yet his
official
yeah,
report.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. But
Did he frown a lot while he was here, or did he seem happy with the way things were going?
he was happy with the way things were going. He also knows that we are in the process of a change with PW2 taking over, and so therefore that changed some of his ideas a little bit. But he thought everything was fine. There is one thing that I know we'll get a deficiency on, and I did it. It's my fault. We are to have what they call, we have a main operator, and he is the guy who takes water samples every month. His name is Wally Sperry, good guy. Some of you may or may not know Wally. We've had him hired now as our water operator for 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, something like that. But you also have to have what they call a backup operator. Our backup operator is a young man by the name of Zach Morris. He used to teach the science classes here in North Davies, but then he was offered a job someplace else, and he went there, and he's teaching science classes there. I lost track with Zach, and I called him the other day, and I said, Zach, we just had a DNR guy come, and do you still have your license as our backup operator? And he has let that license expire because he's busy with work. He hasn't taken classes because you have to continually take classes for this type of thing. So therefore, we do have another name. We do have another guy. He is PW2's backup operator. I have to get that information to the guy who came to visit. Other than that, I think we're okay. So it was my fault.
Do you know what's required to be a backup operator?
What do you have to do to require? You have.
Didn't you do that, Jen? Go take the classes and all that?
We did take all those classes. Jim and I both took all those classes, but we were not able.
On
we
their
did
own,
great.
no pay.
Yeah, but we did great on the tests. We took the 6 weeks of classes, blah blah. But little did we know that as we wait for our certificate, that not only did we have to take those classes, but we also had to have 6 months of a 40-hour work week with the water department. Jameson, nor many towns in this area, do not have a 40-hour work week. So therefore, we could not get certified. The gentleman who we can now have as our operator
thanks to Wally, because he is Wally's backup operator. I have that information, or I will be getting that information to the gentleman who came to visit, and we'll all be okay. But, and that's not a big deal what happened, it's just, I'm really responsible for letting that happen, because I didn't keep track of Zach not continuing his deal. But other than that, we did good.
Do you know that person's name?
Yes, his name is,
Okay, you can help.
I know it. Yeah. I just think so.
It's okay. It's okay.
But other than that, we're all good, and your water's safe. That's really all I have on his visit. Is that all we have on his visit? He went to the school, he went to the pit.
Do we pay a contingency fee for him, or if he actually is, we have to use him, do you pay him?
The backup
The
person?
backup guy?
No, we don't pay him anything. He's basically a name on paper, really, to satisfy DNR's protocol.
But if Wallace is gone,
Yeah,
something
well,
happens.
Yes, but,
we have
yes,
to.
yeah, if we had to have somebody, he would do it, and we would get what we pay Wally instead of paying Wally. So, but,
I have a question, are there any restrictions on wells? As far as the private wells, like there's a well on our property, are they under any kind of regulations?
The Department of Natural Resources. helps
But I
with
mean,
that.
the town, there's,
As long as they're safe, you know.
and that would be up to us to have it tested to see what.
I mean, safe so somebody doesn't fall in it.
Oh,
That's what I meant by
oh,
safe.
we're not, no, no.
We don't
it's-
care if you drink.
It's the pump, so nobody can fall in.
Right. Yeah. No, it just-
Kids fall in your well.
Is this where you tell us how much our abuse was? Were we up or down, or you guys got around the bills? How much did we buy from the Davies 2, and how much did we use this month? Okay. Okay.
If you want to see, I will.
Usually we do. It's usually in the little.
The
The
folder
folder
has
with
a
the
folder
bills.
around.
Oh,
It wasn't pop quiz. I thought it was asking for something. Usually it is,
Danny Noel,
you know,
I think it's K-N-O-L.
okay, oh,
I'm not sure when I spelled it.
thank you.
I'm getting all that info from Wally.
Yeah, I know, and I just, it's for information, you know.
Sure.
Like, yeah.
There was famous folder.
Famous folder.
Okay, so these are looking at me.
Thank you. Any new events this month, or anybody turned off service this month?